Thank you for joining me on another EduSpeak podcast. My name is Nick Shanmac, and we're here to talk about all things education in Southwest Washington and across the state of Washington. And on today's show, we've got a bit of a theme, which is how the pandemic has impacted learning during the 2020-2021 school year. So a couple guests today, we're going to have Mary Templeton, the superintendent in Washougal School District, talk a little bit about how COVID has impacted this past school year and how it's going to impact things, we think, in the fall. And then followed by, we're going to have Nancy Baldwin on the show. She is a family support specialist up in Kelso and was just awarded the ESD 112 recognition as Classified Employee of the Year. So thanks for taking a bit of time to tune in, and let's get to it. All right, I'm joined by Mary Templeton from Washougal School District, the superintendent there. Mary, thanks for coming on the show today.
Yes, happy to be here. Would love to talk a little bit about our school year. I think you're going to ask me that, so I'm ready.
Yeah. How are things in Washougal?
You know what? Things are going really well. We are looking forward to the fall. The year that we just put in, as you well know, as does everybody who has been part of public education, it was challenging. In fact, the most challenging year any of us in public education have ever faced. I've been in public education for going on 30 years, and indeed, this was certainly a challenge.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, when you think about this school year that just wrapped up, what stands out to you in terms of just this one-of-a-kind experience that everyone in education just went through?
I believe that through the challenges, we were offered opportunities. And in the Washougal School District, we were eager through the very difficult time that we had to always be thinking about what is the opportunity right now, and then what is the opportunity for the future. And so I believe we did capitalize on those opportunities, and we came up with quite a few programs that we created that we believed were helpful during the pandemic, but also were forward-thinking, future-thinking for our school district.
And so, I'm curious, as a superintendent, how difficult was it to be a leader of a school district when we were in this year where you didn't really know what the future held from one week to the next? That must have been a challenge.
Well, I will tell you that they didn't cover this in the WSU Superintendent Certification Program. They will now, I'm sure, and we'll be talking about what happens when you're in a global pandemic. So a lot of us, myself included, we were trying to figure things out as we moved forward. But at the end of the day, here are the things that we relied on. First and foremost, this is a people business, and that's who we serve, that's our commodity, that's who we are. So we focused on people. Serving each other, supporting each other, understanding how hard this was for teachers who had to constantly change their pedagogy, change their platform and their delivery model. That's hard, and it was just constant. Think about our parents, many of whom have career jobs just like I do, yet there they were with their children at home through this last summer, and then as we started the school year. And how do you navigate that? And how do you support your child who now moves into a hybrid setting, but is still doing some at home and some at school? I look at my leaders, and I'm thankful. I'm thankful for my leaders. They were on the front lines, and I think of my principals as mayors of their city. These are their people. They know their people, and they're in charge of the success, the support, the health and happiness, and the educational outcome of their children and their families. So they dang it, they did an excellent job. They were willing to communicate. They were willing to flex. I had my principals saying to me at some point, we were trying to figure out how do you fit in desks in a spacing issue when you can bring children back, but you have a 6 foot, social distancing. I had one principal say to me, okay, now this is not my first idea, but I'm willing to go into the library. We could turn that into a space. I'm going to have to move a bookshelf. Now, I might need a Sawzall to do that. And anyways, we didn't have to do that, by the way, but just the fact that my principals, that's a small example, were willing to go above and beyond, do whatever it takes to make this thing work so we can get children back in the building as soon as possible and make sure that they're supported. And then at the end of the day, too, I will have to just a nod out to our classified staff. Our bus drivers, as an example, were the very first folks that were called up to duty when we were in this last spring. They were so flexible in the Washougal School District. They were willing to deliver meals, deliver packets, help connect kids to their iPads. And anyway, I'm appreciative of them and everybody else who just was so dedicated. And then finally, I just have to thank my school board.
Yeah.
These are tough times. And for a school board and the school board leaders in the Washougal, or the board members in the Washougal School District, they're volunteers. And they were out on the front lines of making really tough decisions. And as you know, through lots of this, and there were a lot of complexities, we had people saying, you're going way too fast. We had people saying, you're going way too slow. And so they were trying to balance that. And as their superintendent, trying to keep everybody using common sense, good judgment, listening, because everybody has a point. Just keep moving, keep your eye on the prize, because we are rising as a school district in the state of Washington to be a top performer for our size. So anyway, I just want to, thank yous. And it's that grit, determination, passion, hard work, and a commitment to each other.
I love that. Yeah. Are there things from this, whirlwind school year that we just finished that will carry over into the next year, do you think?
There are. We have some very exciting programs that we developed during the school year, and my assistant superintendent, Renee McMurray, really led the work of developing an alternative learning environment. We call it Washougal Learning Academy. Voila, we love the name. And that really was a family-friendly, flexible learning opportunity for our children, some of whom were not ready to return in person. As we brought our children back for 4 days a week of in-person learning, they wanted to remain, have that flexibility. But we also had children that said, you know what, the way that school looks and the structure of school, that really hasn't worked for us. And we are looking for something different. And the Washougal Learning Academy and the principal is Jason Foster. So thank you, Jason and team. They did an excellent job to create. They built an airplane while they were flying it. And families are very happy. The program is very successful. And we think this is an excellent opportunity for us in the future to have in our portfolio something additional that our families need. And really, isn't that our job, is to figure out what do your customers, and those are our children and our families, what do you need to be successful? And then our job is to create those things, provide them at the appropriate times so that all of our children, again, have that first class ticket in their hand. Here's my future. So that's one of the things. Another thing that we created and we were already in process on these two pieces. One is our culinary program that we went from a contract, mostly frozen prepared foods, served to children for the nutrition services program, to a chef-made cooking model. Our chefs actually are cooking our meals. They're making homemade cinnamon rolls. I had eggs and bacon the other day. They're making fresh taco salad. These are things that they're creating, and it's locally sourced, much of the ingredients. And they have chef coats and chef hats. They've got smallwares, and I had to ask, what's that? So, like knives and mixers and those kinds of things. So that was a really large undertaking that we.
That's cool.
And we did that in the middle of a pandemic. And I remember at the beginning of it, as we were marching forward, someone said, "Are you sure you want to do that in the middle of a pandemic?" And I said, yes, because I don't think I can take one more frozen chicken patty sandwich being served to my kids. That's not the right thing to do. So anyway, Margaret Rice, our CTE director, was on it. She led that work, and thank you to her. And then the last thing, you're like, Mary Templeton, you have a lot of words. Yes, Nick. The last thing I wanted to highlight is our dual language program. We had been working towards a dual language program, and Spanish is the language that we've chosen for a little bit. But during the pandemic and during our work around making sure that all children are seen, known, and valued. We realized that having a dual language program is going to serve our Spanish-speaking families, but it's also going to serve children who don't speak Spanish yet, because it really increases your your overall academic achievement if you're in these programs. So it's true. We have a dual language program, and we already have our children enrolled. And I think we're going to have 2 classrooms for kindergarten next year. That's what we have planned. That was a big lift, and yet here we go with that. Just again, another exciting thing that says, and this is what we learned from the pandemic: listen to your families, listen to your parents. What are they telling you? What are the lived experience of your children and the families and their parents? And when they tell you they need things that are different, things that are more flexible, friendly, family friendly, or that serve a specific need because I haven't been seen or valued by the community, then we do those things. And a lot of the programs I just described really hit that note for us.
Mm-hmm. Well, I know that a lot of districts, not just in the state, but around the country, were just in let's survive this year mode with this school year. But to hear that Washougal was able to not only do that, but innovate, create new programs, really look at new opportunities and successes. I mean, that hats off to your team for being able to do that.
Well, that's right. It's hats off to my team. I have an extraordinary team that includes all of my leaders, from my building principals and associate principals and those supporting the work there, to my district office and my executive cabinet. They are hard workers. They are innovators. They are demanders for justice for all of our children, and they're funny. So it's been really an enjoyable time working with this team as we kind of keep pushing on the things that we need to do differently, making sure we're paying attention to the things we've always done well, and we want to continue those things, but also to innovate. That's a great word for the future.
Well, Mary, thanks for coming on, lending the superintendent perspective on this previous school year, and there's some exciting things ahead there. So thanks for the time today.
Nick, nice to meet you. Thank you. Enjoyed the time.
All right, Mary. All right, and to learn more about Washougal's dual language program or some of the other things that Mary talked about that are coming up for the fall, head to their website. You'll find it right on the front. I'm looking at it right now. That website is washougal.k12.wa.us. All right, I'm now joined by Nancy Baldwin, Kelso School District Family Support Specialist. And Nancy, you've just been named ESD 112's Classified Employee of the Year. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool, exciting news. How did you find out about that?
Oh my gosh. Well, it was a busy day at the high school. It was our seniors' last day. So I was out busy with my seniors, some excited to leave, some a little nervous to leave. And my director, Don Iverson, kept texting me. And he kept texting me, "You won." Well, I kept going, "Yes, we did, because our seniors graduated." So I really didn't know what he was talking about. And he goes, "You need to call me. We won." And so if I could do a cartwheel, I was doing them. So excited. It's really an award and an honor that I share with my district and my families and my students. We're all so honored to accept it.
Well, congratulations, just well deserving for you. And can you talk a little bit about what exactly it is that you do in your role in Kelso, just for folks that don't really understand?
Oh, I wear a lot of hats. My official title with the district is Family Support Specialist, McKinney-Vento Homeless Liaison. We don't use the word homeless. I don't use the word homeless. Homeless is a negative, and it just puts another label on my students. Homeless is where they are. It's not who they are right now. And we work hard every day for them to have a voice, for them to get their footing, to feel like they belong. It's so much more than food and clothing and housing, although those things are important. We work hard every day to meet their social and emotional needs. When those needs can be met, they're open to learn and to accept and to take in what we have to offer. So it's a process that we go through together, and it's challenging, it's a struggle, but my families are strong, my students are focused, they're driven, they're resilient, and they're the future leaders of our community.
Yeah, so you were recognized as classified employee of the year. Is there something that you feel like that you do that's unique in terms of how you see your role and how you're working with students and families? What is it that you feel like you brought to the position?
Well, I think I bring to the position. I've been at this school. Well, this was my high school. I won't tell you how long ago. It was my children's high school. I've been an employee for 18 years. I really love this school. I love these families. When I first took this job, I had a person say to me, now you don't have to take this job home with you. You don't have to love every single person that walks through their door. That's not what you get paid for. And I thought about that, and I thought, they couldn't pay me enough not to. I really share in every single one of their successes. They do the hard work. I think I just bring a little bit of security to them, knowing that I'm going to be here every day. I'm going to meet them where they are. That day may change tomorrow. That is different for every single student, but I value them. I listen to them, and we walk the walk together. And I think once they understand that I can put their shoes on and walk with them, they start to open up to me, and we start to find solutions, one student at a time, one family at a time, one issue at a time.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really, really amazing that Kelso has your program in place. I would imagine that, most folks in the community might not think about the student population that you're serving when they think of public school.
That's absolutely true. I have had even staff here come in and say that their students have shared on Zoom that, things that we've worked through, and their teachers have come to me and shared that they are then able to get their homework done, that they are able to participate in class. I've had parents come in and say, you're helping my student. I didn't know this program existed. Can you help me? Well, of course, we're a family resource center. And when we can make the family stronger, the parents stronger, that's going to filter right down through the kids, and the kids are going to do better. So we wrap our arms around the whole family. And I think it just takes time for the word to get out, and people to understand that we're here, we're not going anywhere, and we will do what it takes to move forward one family at a time.
So I'm curious, how was the program challenged by the pandemic this past school year?
So much more challenging than what I thought. It's much more than just food insecurities, which we can handle that, but the housing, the job market. We've been through, Mount St. Helens, we've been through different traumatic events, but it hasn't literally locked families down together. I've had families move in and share homes. I've had families lose their housing. It's an emotional drain on our families to not know what's coming in the pandemic. They listen to different stories, and it's scary, it's confusing. So it's been my pleasure to navigate this pandemic with them as we're learning together. But I have a district that shares health department news, and so I share that with my families. And I think because we built a trust and a relationship with our families, that they believe the information that we put out, and it gives them a little bit of comfort. They know they can look on the Skyward website. they know that they can reach out, and we will let them know exactly what's happening and what we need to do. And they're stepping up and following direction, and they're coming back to us now, and they're going, we really made it. We really made it. And we did.
Yeah, so looking ahead to next year, hopefully it's a bit more of a normal school year, if you can say that. Is there something, what are you looking forward to next school year in terms of this program or your role, where you're going to be focused?
Next year, we're assuming that we're going back full time. My district has provided a double-sided portable for this program. We've really grown out of this room. And so we are going to have a family resource and health center. We want it to be a hub for the entire family, where you can come in and you can get help with housing, you can get help with food, with clothing. We're going to have our district nurse there. We're bringing in health navigators, housing navigators. We're going to be doing sports physicals, immunizations. And so we are growing to support the community. And the community has been very generous with reaching out and offering to support us, to volunteer several days a week. So we are growing. In our wildest dream, we never realized that we would learn so much through the pandemic. We learned so much more about what families really need and what things bring them, the barriers that they're struggling to get over. So next year, it's a whole new world. We're ready to go. We're going to hit the ground running with the brand new portable. It has a full-size kitchen in it, 2 bathrooms. The district has agreed to put in a shower, washer and dryer units. So when the parents come to work on resumes, or we are applying for jobs, or, we're doing Zoom interviews, which some of the parents didn't really understand how that worked. So we're giving little mini lessons, and we can do their laundry at the same time. They can get a quick shower, so that we're, putting our best self forward. We're being our authentic self for Zoom. It's hard sometimes on Zoom to bring across how you feel and what you're all about and what your worth is. So we're helping to prepare them to be prepared to go out into the world and stand on their own 2 feet.
Well, you guys you're doing amazing work there. I mean, what a great resource. Before I let you go, you mentioned the community. Whether it's someone that's just learning about this program now, or maybe a family that might be interested in utilizing the service, is there anything that you'd like to say to folks maybe that watching this, before we wrap up? Give a message for the community.
Yes, I would like to say, and I do get a lot of community outreach and phone calls. And again, I've lived in this community for my whole life. So I do have people even stopping me in town. What can I do? What can we do to help you? How can we support you? I think I want people to know, reach out to me. If it's something I can do, or I can facilitate, or I can guide them into the right direction, then let me do that. It's just finding out about those people. There's so many pockets of people that we don't reach through the school district or through Skyward. So that word of mouth helps me help them. And so if you see somebody struggling, if you see a neighbor struggling, if you see someone at the store, if you know somebody that goes to your church, give them my card, give them my number. We will help them. We will. Community is all about Kelso. Kelso is a village. It takes a village to raise a child. And we are lucky to be in this village of Kelso. It is a caring community. And I have never been so excited for this new program. I have so many people that are reaching out now and saying, can I share your card with my brother-in-law? Can I share it with my neighbor who just got custody of her niece and nephew? Yes, please. The more our word is out there, the more people we can help. And so my wish is that the people that listen to this take the time to reach out to me so that I can reach out to them.
Well, that's great. Nancy, thanks for taking a few minutes. Congratulations on being named Classified Employee of the Year. Again, well-deserving recognition. You're doing great work. Kelso is lucky to have you.
Thank you. I feel blessed to be in this community with the support that I have. This award really goes to my district, my school, my families, and my students. They are the ones that have done the hard work. So we are all delighted for this honor.
Well, we'll have to touch base with you down the road. Maybe into the next school year, see how things are going. And the new portable.
I would love for you to see our new location. We have big things planned for this school district.
All right. Well, once again, Nancy, thanks for taking the time, and let's chat soon.
All right. Thank you, Nick.
All right. That'll do it for today's EduSpeak podcast. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure to subscribe, follow us on our social media channels so you don't miss an episode. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.